Why aren't you better friends with God and a better follower of Jesus? That's a hard question if you think about it. Why aren't I a better follower of Jesus and a better friend with God? Now, I can tell you that there are a couple of standard answers priests get for this. And there is no better time to hear this than Senior Sunday, as some of us prepare to graduate and go off into the real world. Or at least a college as real as that is. But why not? Usually the answer is something like this. Oh, Father, I love Jesus so much. And of course they do. But, you knew there was going to be a but coming, didn't you? But, I've got a lot of work on. And it's so very busy. So I can't be better friends with God and follow Jesus right now. Oh, I love Jesus so much. And of course they do. But I've got a lot of bills on. Things are expensive, you know. Things are expensive at my house too. I can't be better friends with God and a better follower of Jesus right now. I need all my money. Oh, I love Jesus so much. And of course, they do. But I have to take care of the kids. Or I have to help take care of my parents, or my grandparents, or my grandkids. So I can't be better friends with God right now, or a better follower of Jesus. Though I really want to. Oh, I love Jesus so much. But we've got soccer practice, or ballet, or music, or dance, or studying for our next exam, or a paper to write, or something to do. Oh, we love Jesus so much. And of course we do. But, we find some reason that even though loving Jesus so much, like we do, that we cannot be better friends with God and a better follower of Him. But I wonder, why was it that God Himself, in the person of Jesus Christ, was willing to leave heaven, be born in a barn, and then beat, whipped, spat upon, and crucified for you? Do you reckon God had nothing better on to do? Don't you think He might be busy with all these people praying, asking Him stuff constantly, running the whole universe and all that jazz? I mean, God's got a lot on, doesn't He? I mean, He's doing a lot of stuff. And yet God chose to leave heaven to come be crucified for you, so that you might become friends with Him and become a follower of Jesus. Do you reckon Jesus just wanted to get crucified? I mean, I think not. I can't imagine being crucified as being that much fun. Have you ever hit your thumb with a hammer? Hugh probably hasn't, because he's good at doing stuff. I have hit my thumb with a hammer. It's not very nice. It will make you want to say not very nice things. It really hurts. I imagine drilling a nail through your wrist really hurts. And yet, when it really mattered, despite having so much on, do you know who showed up to be friends with you? Jesus on the cross. That's who. He did it because He loves you. He loves you so much that He was willing to leave heaven and be murdered for you, so that you could become friends with Him and that you might become His follower. Jesus did it because He wanted to. Now, in the garden, he did pray, Father, if there's another way, let's not get crucified. Right? He wasn't just excited about getting crucified. But ultimately, your will be done. The Father said, Son, there is no other way for them to become friends with us again, for them to be followers of you, for them to become saved. And so Jesus says, well, in that case, your will be done. To the cross we go. Jesus did it because he loved you and because he wanted to. This is what ordained ministry has taught me. People do what they want to do. I do what I want to do. You do what you want to do. Everyone does what he or she wants to do. We do what we want. So the question of becoming a better follower of Jesus and better friends with God is not really a financial question. It's not a time or scheduling question. It's not a busyness question. It's a question of desire. It's about aligning your will with the will of God. It's about aligning your desires to be better friendship with God and being a better follower of Jesus, because like me, you will do what you want to do. Where there's a will, there's a way. Now, many of you will know and have heard that I'm a pretty big fan of the daily office in the Book of Common Prayer. If you've not heard about that yet, stick around. You will hear about it again. Now, I love the daily office so much because it's such a great tool to help you start becoming friends with God. It's a great tool to help you to start become a better follower of Jesus. But the daily office by itself is not enough. It takes two more things to do it. A real big dose of God's grace, and you are in luck, because God is in the grace given out business. Paul tells us in Ephesians 4 how richly God blesses each person by just keep pouring more and more grace on your life. Grace is kind of like grits with breakfast in the South. You don't have to ask for it. It just comes on the plate. The second thing it takes is perseverance. It takes developing holy habits and making little choices each day. I'm not trying to sell you a microwave, but I'm selling you a crock pot. It is the get holy slow plan. Because that's how change happens in your life. Most of us don't just wake up one day and, boom, we're a saint. Most of us, it takes a little more effort and time than that. Because we need to change the way we think and the way we act on a daily basis so that my desire lines up with becoming friends with God. So that my desire lines up with becoming Jesus' follower. It's about little tiny choices you make every day. Every day you wake up and you've got a schedule to keep. 24 hours to do something with. You have to decide what you're going to do with all of that time. Every choice you make about your calendar and your time is an opportunity to say either I want to become a better friend of Jesus or I don't. You are going to do what you want to do with your time. You just have to choose what you want as your goal and then structure your time to reach it. If you want to be real rich, you better work a lot during your time, right? If you want to be better friends with Jesus, then you better be out in the world doing the work of the gospel, preaching, teaching, healing, and making disciples in his name. Every day, you pull out your debit card and you spend money. When you do that, you've got a little choice to make with every dollar. Am I going to use this money to be better friends with Jesus or not? What am I going to do with it? Over time, all these little tiny choices really change who you are and the way you live. It's the crock pot plan, not the microwave. We're going to get holy slowly but surely. Think for just a second about a river. Water is kind of a pernicious thing, isn't it? It just perseveres and perseveres. It keeps going and going and going. Drip, 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 drip. There it is. Imagine that you pick up a jagged rock and you plunge it into the river and you pull it back out. What's going to happen to the rock? It's going to get wet and it's going to get just ever so slightly cooler from being in the water, right? What's going to happen to it? It's going to get wet, it's going to get cooler. Is it still going to be sharp when you pick it back up? Yeah, you just put it right in, pull it right out, it'll still be sharp. Water's not going to do anything to it. Make it a little bit wet, a little bit cooler. Water will evaporate off, and don't worry, the sun here in Columbia will bake out the coolness. But imagine you take that same jagged rock and you put it down in the river, and you come back 10 or 15 years later and pick up the exact same rock. Will it be the same sharp rock you put into the water? I thought the water just made it wet and a little bit cooler. But over time, the little choice the water makes to keep going over the rock fundamentally changes the character of that rock, doesn't it? It shapes it and changes it. Your life is the same way. Those little tiny choices you make every day change you fundamentally over time. Now, I'm not saying that the Get Holy Slow plan is one where you always have to make the right choice. If you make the wrong choice, it's suboptimal to be sure. But you can go back and correct your choice if it's correctable, and if it's not, do better next time. Now, I'm not going to go and tell you what to do when you leave this place here in a little bit. If I did, I'd be wasting my time because you're going to secretly just do what you want to do anyways. Now, you laugh, but you will. It's what everyone does. We do what we want. But I will tell you this, that you can be better friends with God and a better follower of Jesus if that's what you want to do. You just have to structure your choices to do it.